Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, together with the Presidential Communications Office.
We bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Habiba Saripauda.
And I'm Joe Fernandez from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to
Balitang Pambansa.
Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. thanks the international community for their humanitarian assistance and disaster response efforts. Forced evacuations will be imposed in areas that may be affected by the onslaught of Typhoon Marce. The country's inflation rate settles to 2.3% in October. Concerned government agencies express readiness to deliver assistance amid the continuous degassing of the Canlaon volcano. A new hemodialysis unit opens in Misamis Occidental. Humanitarian aid as well as other forms of assistance from various nations poured in for those affected by the two weather disturbances, which the president greatly appreciated. Crucial to government's efforts is to find a way to bring help to those who cannot be reached easily due to flooding, which was greatly aided by air assets from other countries. PTV's Kenneth Paciente has the full report.
Following the onslaught of Typhoons Christine and Leon, aid also poured in from various countries for humanitarian assistance and disaster response efforts. The government continues to carry out. Based on the latest data from the NDRRMC, air assets have completed 60 response operations with assistance from Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and Brunei Darussalam, and for which President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. expressed heartfelt gratitude. In his discussion with Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, the president thanked Malaysia for the assistance provided in the Philippines' response to the impact of Typhoon Christine. The president stressed that Malaysia's air assets have helped reach areas still under in floodwaters, enabling aid to reach families in need. The chief executive added that amid the nation's mourning over the lives lost due to the typhoon, it is heartwarming to see the assistance from ASEAN countries, demonstrating the unity of the alliance and regional brotherhood. Due to the government's unceasing actions, a total of 1.2 billion pesos in aid has been distributed to those affected by Typhoons Christine and Leon. This includes food and non-food items from the DSWD, OCD, LGUs, and non-government organizations. More than 1 million family food packs have also been distributed by DSWD. However, the agency continues to act to provide aid to those affected by the typhoons. This by way of round-the-clock delivery of family food packs to areas most in need. These efforts have been eased by the community spirit of Bayanihan, with several volunteers also helping in the repacking of FFPs. Meanwhile, the government remains alert given the potentially adverse impact Tropical Storm Marce could bring. Local governments are reminded to be prepared for the safety of their residents. From PTV, Kenneth Paciente, Balitang Pambansa.
DND Chief and NDRRMC Chair Gilberto Teodoro Jr. vows preemptive evacuation at a moment's notice in the northwestern Luzon region, while the DENR is in close touch with Pagasa for pinpoint weather forecasting to alert villages or communities in the path of landslides or flood-prone locations. PTV's Patrick De Jesus has more on this multi-agency initiative and disaster response in preparation for Marce.
Local governments in the areas potentially thought to be affected by Typhoon Marce have been tasked to implement forced evacuation in areas difficult to reach with aid and rescuers when calamity strikes. Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro, who also serves as the chairperson of the NDRRMC, said it's better to be proactive to save more lives from a disaster.
Judgment call yan ng local disaster risk reduction and management councils. But the thing is, the earlier, the better for us. I mean, it's no problem to err on the side of caution. Kahit hindi umulan, nandun lahat, at least ligtas.
According to the DNR, the areas of concern are the Ilocos region, Cagayan Valley, and Cordillera. The Mines and Geosciences Bureau of the DNR is also monitoring Pagasa's forecast to alert barangays located or situated in landslide and flood-prone areas.
Listahan po ng mga barangay na yon, binibigay po namin yan dito po sa OCD para makalat po nila dito at ma-distribute po nila ang information tungkol po sa likely scenario na tinatawag. Sana po gamitin po ito ng mga local officials po natin dito po sa pagdesisyon ng preemptive evacuation po at kung saan po dapat siguro maging mas ligtas ang mga kabarangay po natin dito po sa local government.
LGUs are also required to set up centralized drop-off points for relief goods and non-food items. The DSWD has prepared 300,000 family food packs for those to be affected by Typhoon Marce. These are part of the over 1 million stockpile of family food packs, while their repacking station in Central Luzon will also be activated to speed up aid delivery to Northern Luzon.
Right now, kahit po tayo ay naghahanda para sa pagdating ng Bagyong Marce, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang ating relief operations, lalo na po sa Bicol region. So DSWD is constantly monitoring the different evacuation centers po na tinayo.
Around 300 AFP search and rescue teams are on standby for Typhoon Marce, with airlift capabilities, including Black Hawk helicopters that are prepared for the delivery of food and non-food items. Security operations of the armed forces will not be interrupted despite providing aid during the typhoon.
Habang gumagawa po tayo ng humanitarian assistance and disaster response operations, tuloy pa rin ho yung ating internal security operations, yung mga combat operations ho natin.
The Interagency Coordinating Cell has been reactivated to ensure faster coordination among government agencies now that another typhoon is being monitored. From the People's Television Network, Patrick De Jesus, Balitang, Pambansa.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, is working non-stop to produce family food packs, or FFPs, for ongoing relief efforts for severe tropical storm Christine and super typhoon Leon, while preparing for severe tropical storm Marce. The DSWD aims to produce 20,000 boxes of family food packs daily. Relief supplies are being sent to the Bicol region, including 18,700 FFPs from Cebu, with additional support from the Philippine Coast Guard for sea transport. The Department of Labor and Employment's TUPAD workers are helping pack supplies at the National Resource Operations Center in Pasay. DSWD spokesperson Irene Dumlao expressed her gratitude for all the support they are receiving to deliver aid more quickly to affected families.
In anticipation of severe tropical storm Marce, the Coast Guard District Northwestern Luzon is making sure all responders equipment are prepared to support local government units in their communities in potential evacuation and rescue efforts. All units are now on heightened alert, while its deployable response groups are on standby to address potential emergencies such as flooding and landslide. Coast Guard personnel stationed at all regional ports are on high alert to respond promptly to any emergencies at sea. All necessary equipment and radio communication devices are fully functional and prepared for use to safeguard residents within their assigned areas of responsibility.
Meanwhile, Typhoon Marce has likely strengthened while it is in the eastern waters of Isabela. Based on Pag-asa's latest weather forecast, the eye of the storm was located 480 kilometers east of Itiague, Isabela, carrying winds of up to 130 kilometers per hour and gusts reaching 160 kilometers per hour. Tropical wind signal number 1 is currently in effect over parts of Luzon as the storm moves at a speed of 25 kilometers per hour. Typhoon Marce may make landfall or pass near the Babuyan Islands or the northern part of mainland Cagayan by November 7, Thursday afternoon or evening.
The Department of Health Region 5 has allocated 6.58 million pesos in medical and logistical support to local government units, or LGUs, to aid those who are affected by severe tropical storm Christine. In a report gathered by the Philippine news agency DOH Region 5 has deployed over 5,000 healthcare personnel across various towns and cities in Albay and Camarines Sur to ensure the continued provision of free medical services in the impacted areas. The most common health issues reported in evacuation centers were cough, colds, open wounds and bruises, fever, high blood pressure, skin diseases, loose stools, fungal infections, dizziness, headaches, itchiness, abdominal pain, and boils. Free medical and nutritional checkups along with vaccinations for senior citizens and children against pneumonia, measles, rubella, tetanus, diphtheria have continued.
On the other news, a lawmaker who is also known for being an expert in the economy has a different take on the country's October inflation rate, which went up to 2.3%. The details and other developments related to inflation, PTV's Joshua Garcia narrates in this report.
The National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, assured the prices of basic goods in the country remain stable despite a slight increase in inflation for October this year. According to NEDA, while inflation slightly increased to 2.3% in October from 1.9% in September, it still remains within the government's target range of 2.0 to 4.0%. The Philippine Statistics Authority explained the main cause for the slight inflation increase was the rise in prices of food and non-alcoholic beverages, particularly rice. National statistician Dr. Dennis Mapa added the uptick was also driven by the recent calamities whose impacts are likely to extend throughout November.
So may mga presyo na umaakyat. And of course, the expectation is that itong month ng November, siguro yung first 2 weeks natin, makikita rin natin pa ang pagtaas ng presyo ng vegetables. So we are tracking that. Normally nakikita natin yun after the typhoon and then magno-normalize na naman.
According to the PSA, although the price increase of some foods like vegetables, seafood, meat, and bananas has slowed down, rice and corn prices remain high.
Ang expectation natin, nag-peak na ito ito lang parang this is just a blip, no? And we expect that it will go down again, inflation rate and of course the price level per kilo in the coming months, so November and December.
Housing, water, electricity, and other fuel products also significantly contributed to last month's inflation. Congressman Joey Salceda emphasized that there are no red flags in the October inflation data. Instead, it clearly shows the economy has recovered from the shocks experienced in 2022 and 2023. Salceda also pointed out that President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s tariff reduction policies have significantly benefited consumers without negatively affecting local farmers. Finance Secretary Ralph G. Recto assured the public the country is still on track to meet its 2024 inflation target, despite a slight increase in October due to temporary factors like weather disturbances, such as severe tropical storm Christine and super typhoon Leon, and confirmed the government is taking steps to help affected communities recover quickly. Meanwhile, the Marcos Jr. administration continues to take steps to address challenges such as those caused by recent weather conditions, which have also contributed to the rise in inflation. According to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the 2.3% inflation rate for October is still within their forecast range of 2.0 to 2.8%. However, the BSP's Monetary Board will continue implementing measures to ensure price stability and support economic growth. From PTV Manila, Joshua Garcia, Balitang, Pambansa.
An economist stated the country's employment rate is likely to improve in the coming months as the demand associated with the Christmas season will help generate jobs. According to Philippine news agency's report, Rizal Commercial Banking Corporation Chief Economist Michael Ricafort said seasonal hiring boosts employment opportunities, particularly in the services and retail sectors as the holiday approaches. He added the easing inflation trend supports economic growth and business activity, which in turn helps boost employment. Up next, a dam is set to be constructed in Palawan in preparation for El Nino.
Presidential Communications Office Chief Cesar Chavez administers the oath of new Manila City Hall Press Club officers. These stories and more when Balitang Pambansa returns.
Sa isang malayang demokrasya, Mahalaga ang pagiging bukas. Mahalaga ang partisipasyon ng bawat isa. Dahil karapatan ng lahat na makibahagi sa mga usapin at pagbuo ng mga batas para sa isang bagong Pilipinas. Congress TV. Tutukan ang mga sesyon ng Kongreso sa PTV at sa aming digital platforms. Kahit saan, kahit kailan, watch democracy in action. Congress TV.
People living in and around the Canlaon Volcano area have been assured of prepositioned food and non-food items in the event evacuation is mandated over a heightened danger status of the volcano. The Office of Civil Defense is working closely with the DSWD, Office of Western Visayas to dispatch and distribute family food packs and other relief items if need be. Philippine Information Agency Negros Occidental correspondent Bernard Susbilia fills us in with more details.
The Office of Civil Defense and the Department of Social Welfare and Development in Western Visayas are prepared to respond to Negrense families affected by Canlaon Volcano's continuing unrest. Following Canlaon's recent spewing of gray ash on November 3, which generated a plume that rose 300 meters above the crater before drifting southwest, the Office of Civil Defense and the Department of Social Welfare and Development assured the public that food and non-food items have been prepositioned to immediately aid the affected population. According to OCD Regional Office 6, food and non-food items are on standby at their Bacolod City warehouse and the Philippine Army Engineering Brigade facility in Himamaylan City. Among OCD's FNFIs in Bacolod City are 15 units of gasoline generator sets, 650 pieces of bath towels, 188 rolls of Sakhalin blue sacks, 321 shelter repair kits, and 150 family packs. Meanwhile, the prepositioned FNFIs in Himamaylan City, given by the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation or PAGCOR, include rice, bottled water, canned goods, coffee, blankets, mosquito nets, and hygiene essentials. Procurement is also ongoing for other FNFIs. On the part of the DSWD, more than 27,600 family food packs or FFPs have been prepositioned, 15,600 of which are stored at their warehouse in Bacolod City and 12,000 are with the local government units. On September 21, PHIVOLCS recorded the highest sulfur dioxide flux from Canlaon Volcano at 10,449 tons. The volcano remains under alert level 2 as of this time, indicative of increasing unrest, according to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology or PHIVOLCS. Given these conditions, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council or NDRRMC advises the public in Negros Island to be ready and prepare for possible ashfall and sudden eruption. From the Philippine Information Agency Negros Occidental, Bernard Susbilia for Balitang, Pambansa.
Authorities in Palawan are making sure the province has a steady water supply when El Nino strikes by constructing a 3 billion peso water impounding dam. Philippine Information Agency Palawan's Rachel Ganancial filed this report.
The 3 billion peso worth of water impounding structure of the Puerto Princesa City Water District is seen as a response to ensure water supply, despite the anticipated increase in demand in the next El Nino. Puerto Princesa City Water District General Manager Walter Laurel said the project will divert the flow of water from rivers to store it for the dry season. It will be constructed in the 120-hectare land area inside the city government's Santa Lucia Environmental Estate. The study on the project has been completed and is now set to be presented for the City Council's approval of the segregation of land portions.
Bumababa yung flow nating mga ilog, dito tayo kukuha ng augmentation ng ating supply. So sa ngayon po, tapos na yung ating geotechnical investigation, na patunayan na natin doon sa pag-aaral na kinandak ng ating consultant na non-permeable yung lupa sa ilalim, kayang mag-hold ng tubig.
The facility will also serve as a flood control measure and facilitate recreational activities. Estimates put the cost between 3 and 4 billion pesos. But Laurel acknowledged that the City Water District cannot handle it alone without the national government support. The City Water District is also in active partnership with both the public and private sectors to manage the cost. The projection of demand is expected to reach about 10 million liters per day in the next 3 years.
Pasok din natin ito sa DNR, DPWH multi-use infrastructure project. So ito ay flood control project at the same time water impounding.
The project will benefit the 55,981 active service connections from 54 barangays connected to the City Water District. From the Philippine Information Agency, Mima Ropa, Rachel Ganancial, Balitang Pambansa.
Barangays in Mutia Municipality can now use the new water system developed by DILG's development program, making it easier for them to get access to their water needs. Philippine Information Agency Zamboanga del Norte's Pamela Joyce Fumero has more.
Under the Department of the Interior and Local Government's Barangay Development Program, Barangays Tubac and New Siquijor in the municipality of Mutia can now enjoy free and accessible water supply closer to their own homes. According to locals, before the project came into fruition, residents had to fetch water from distant creeks and rivers.
Di na may problema. Dahil sa una pag yun, kabo pag may anang lagyo kayo, bit galon, lagyo kayo sa tanan para lang namin mainom, mahugas.
Although not connected directly into the households of citizens, the water system is strategically placed close to the households, making it easier for them to access their water needs.
Sa karon, pasalamat yung kayo kay ang tubig na nagyud sa amo ang tagsa-tagsa ka panimalay.
Sourced from a local spring, both water systems offer drinkable water, complete with potability test results from Agape Diagnostic Center.
Salamat migdako nining mong project nga nadawat. Dahil ang mga katawhan nga mo gamit gyud diri kun dili mag-amping gyud sa tubig kay para nga ang tubig dili gyud madaot.
These initiatives ensure that the gains in ending localized communist armed conflicts are sustained. From the Philippine Information Agency Zamboanga del Norte, Pamela Joyce Fumero for Balitang Pambansa.
The Philippine National Police Drug Enforcement Group, or PDEG, seized nearly 78 million pesos worth of illegal drugs in October. Based on the information gathered by the Philippine News Agency, PDEG Chief Brigadier General Eleazar Mata reported 71 operations led to the arrest of 80 drug personalities. 3.5 kilogram of suspected shabu, 33 kilogram of kush, 33.4 kilogram of dried marijuana, 45 milliliter of marijuana oil, 700 marijuana seedlings, and 2,800 fully grown marijuana plants have been confiscated in various operations.
A godsend has just befallen the fortunate ailing kidney patients in Misamis Occidental. A hemodialysis unit with 31 dialysis machines that can treat up to 93 patients a day is beefed up by medical staff to provide top-notch treatment and care. Philippine Information Agency Region 10's Jam Rukat reports.
The new hemodialysis unit at the Misamis Occidental Provincial Hospital was opened to the public on Friday, October 25, 2024. The unit has a total of 31 machines and can accommodate an average of 93 patients per day. It operates from Monday to Saturday, including holidays, with treatment sessions running from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., offering 4-hour sessions 3 times a week. One of the beneficiaries is 35-year-old Jusbert from Sapang Dalaga, who has had stage 5 chronic kidney disease for 6 years.
Po, nagpapasalamat po sa ating mahal na gobyerno na binigyan kami ng ganitong libreng dialysis. Nakitulong na rin sa amin kasi wala na kami hinarap buhay. Hindi na makapagtrabaho ng maayos.
Dialysis patient Carl from Talik, Oroqueta City is also a beneficiary of this.
Natuman nila ang among pagandom na mawat din. Abi sumpay sa among kinabuhi. Buhi na. Still lang among kinabuhi. Tarong madugay, kababa na mo pamilya dugay. Ay, ma'am, dako kay katabang namo ay para sa una nga dako bayad, kay karon wala na may bayad. Kay kami pagin mo tagaan kada buwan. Dako kami pasalamat di gobyerno.
2 nephrologists and 4 doctors will manage that unit in order to ensure expert medical care at all times. It is supported by 23 nurses and 8 technicians trained at the Southern Philippines Medical Center in Davao City. The unit is committed to delivering high-quality services. The province of Misamis Occidental also provides a monthly allowance of 3,000 pesos for each beneficiary.
From Philippine Information Agency Region 10, Jam Rukat for Balitang, Pambansa.
The newly elected officers of the Manila City Hall Press Club, or NCHPC, took their oath of office in front of Acting Presidential Communications Secretary Cesar Chavez. Secretary Chavez led the oath-taking ceremony led by its President Jocelyn Tabangcora Dumenden at the new executive building in Malacanang. The NCHPC officers, one of the first journalist groups in the country, were thankful for the chance to take their oath at the PCO, the government's main communications office.
And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez.
This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Aviva Sarip Maudak, and this is
Balitang Pambansa.